Powerlifting is a sport of maximal single-effort force production at three specific movement patterns. One repetition maximum, the highest weight you can lift once in competition under judging. Everything about powerlifting training is structured around developing the capacity for that single peak effort. And creatine's mechanism maps onto that demand more precisely than onto the training patterns of most other strength sports. The phosphocreatine buffer is most critical at maximal effort intensities, 95% of 1 rep maximum and above. At these loads, the muscle is operating at maximum motor unit recruitment, maximum rate coding, and maximum force production. A TP demand exceeds what the aerobic system can supply, and the phosphocreatine buffer is the primary energy source sustaining the effort for the 2 to 12 seconds that a maximal lift typically takes. Creatine's benefit is largest exactly where powerlifting demands are highest. Bodybuilding training, by contrast, is built around hypertrophy-optimized protocols, moderate loads, higher volumes, multiple sets per muscle group, moderate to short rest intervals. The phosphocreatine buffer is engaged, but not the primary determinant of performance. At 70 to 85% of 1 rep maximum for sets of 8 to 12 repetitions, the aerobic energy system contributes substantially. Creatine still benefits bodybuilding training, and research consistently shows it does, but the magnitude of the acute energy system benefit per set is smaller than in powerlifting. Research directly comparing the effect size of creatine supplementation across different training modalities supports this distinction. Studies measuring acute performance enhancement during maximal effort exercises consistently show larger relative performance improvements than studies measuring performance during submaximal effort high-volume training. The effect is real in both contexts, but is more pronounced where phosphocreatine is more exclusively the limiting energy substrate. A secondary factor is the frequency of competition-specific demands. Powerlifters regularly train at competition-level intensities, heavy singles and doubles, where creatine's acute energy system effect is directly relevant in training. Bodybuilders training for hypertrophy rarely work at competition-level condition in the gym, because peak condition for bodybuilding is achieved through dietary manipulation rather than through any single acute performance output. The phosphocreatine resynthesis benefit between sets also aligns better with powerlifting's typical rest interval structure. Powerlifters often rest 5 to 8 minutes between heavy sets. This allows near-complete phosphocreatine resynthesis even without supplementation. With creatine supplementation, the starting phosphocreatine pool is larger, so while the percentage resynthesized is similar, the absolute amount available for the next set is greater. This matters most in competition, where multiple attempts within a session are performed under significant fatigue. Both powerlifters and bodybuilders benefit meaningfully from creatine supplementation. The bodybuilder's benefit is slightly more indirect, mediated through better training volume, anabolic signaling, and satellite cell responses. While the powerlifter's benefit includes a more direct acute energy system component at the specific intensities that define the sport. The training protocol composition within powerlifting also interacts with creatine in ways that differ from bodybuilding. Powerlifters typically include a significant volume of submaximal training, repetition work at 70 to 85% of maximum dose, alongside their heavy maximal effort work. This submaximal volume is where the hypertrophy effects of creatine operate more similarly to bodybuilding through the volume accumulation mechanism. The total creatine benefit in powerlifting therefore has both a direct maximal effort component and an indirect hypertrophy-mediated component through the submaximal training volume. The competition format of powerlifting also creates a specific creatine use case that does not apply to bodybuilding. In a powerlifting meet, each competitor performs 3 attempts at each of 3 lifts: squat, bench press, and deadlift, for a total of 9 attempts across the day. The attempts are separated by rest periods of 15 to 20 minutes, as other competitors take their turns. This is a different energy demand profile from a single training session, and creatine's ability to maintain phosphocreatine store availability across repeated maximal attempts over several hours is directly relevant. Where maximal force production is the primary performance output, The energy system that supports it is the primary target. Creatine hits that target more directly in powerlifting than in any other major strength sport.